Hi, I'm Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training, and today I've got Leah in the crate ready to do her training demonstration. So I'm very excited to do this for you. I'm super excited to send her to you this week. She's a really fun dog. I think you're really going to enjoy her. Just be ready for a dog that's always ready to roll. She's got plenty of energy and she's always invested into whatever you're doing. So just a really, really fun dog, and I think you guys are going to love her. So just to give you a rundown of how this is going to go, or the format this is going to follow. So during this demonstration, we're going to start with her manners, and then we'll cover her obedience commands and her leash work. So the crate training, the house training expectations, as well as my 3 keys to success are in that introductory video. You should have watched that prior to watching this one. If you haven't, go back and watch that, because that's a lot of really important information and things that we are going to incorporate into this segment of the demonstration. So first and foremost, as I get her out, so like I said, she's got plenty of energy. She's always ready to train, super fun. So it is going to be important that you are very consistent and you're always giving her something to do and you're following through with your expectations. So all that's covered in that first video, but I just want to re-emphasize that, because anytime you get a dog that has kind of this higher drive, higher energy, they're always going to be looking for something to do, and they need a job, they need something to do, or they could become destructive. So that's definitely going to be important with Leah, that you give her a job. So first things first, the first manner we are going to show you is our gates and our doorways. So anytime we let Leah out of the crate, we go through a closed house door, we go through a gate outside. I expect her to hold an automatic stay. So I don't care whether she's sitting or laying down, standing, that doesn't matter, as long as she's showing that she can be patient, in control, and that she's waiting to be released. So if she tried to break out of the crate when I opened that door, I would simply tell her no and close that door and try again. If she made it all the way out, I would go and get her and have her do it again. Same thing with any of like my man doors. I want to make sure that she's waiting patiently. And if she does get by me, I'm going to go and get her and have her do it again. I don't want her thinking that if she's sneaky enough or fast enough, she doesn't have to listen to that. So with all of our manners, obviously you can, add more, as well as maybe, be more relaxed on certain ones in your home. That's fine. It's your house, your dog, your rules. That's all perfectly fine. Bare minimum with this one, I would make sure that you hold these expectations at the crate door as well as any exterior door, because these are going to be times where usually she's going to be a lot more excited to come out, and it's going to help some impulse control. And anytime we go through an exterior door, you just never know if there's going to be something on the other side. So like I said, it's an automatic behavior. So now I'm going to let her out. I'll show you coming out of the crate. Then I will walk her over. I'll have her ring the bell so that way you can see her ring them, and then we'll show you this exterior door as we take her to the bathroom. Okay, good girl, good girl. Huh. So one thing with Leah is she does still excited and submissively pee. Okay, outside. So anytime we're getting that initial greeting, she always does piddle a little bit, so be prepared for that. So you saw her just quickly ring the bells. I said, okay, outside, and now we're gonna go out. Okay. So now, same expectations for coming inside. I don't care what position she's in, as long as she's showing she's under control. Okay, good girl. And then, no. I'm going to grab a paper towel really quick and clean this up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So, like I said, she does still excited / submissively pee. So anytime you are doing initial greetings or you've been away for a while, I would immediately take her to the bathroom before you pet her. A lot of dogs do grow out of it. It's very common. However, some dogs don't. So when I am greeting Leah, when I call her over, come here, I wait for her to sit, and so that way she's less likely to do it. and then a lot of times I'll come down to her level, and that will also help lessen it. If I come right over the top, that's a little bit more of that, for lack of a better word, a dominant positioning or body language, to where she's more likely to do it. So having her give that greeting is going to be very important. And that's something that we have established with her. Come here. Is anytime I call her over, good girl, I want her to sit. So that way it's an automatic behavior. It just gets her planted immediately. It's going to lessen that submissive peeing. And this is also a replacement behavior for jumping. And this is going to be one of the first things that you focus on with Leah when you get her home, is this greeting. So like I said, we've created this with us. This is an automatic behavior. I've started fading away the treats because when she does this, she gets my attention. However, for the next couple weeks, I want you to be really consistent with giving her a treat reward. So the first exercise that you are going to do with her, I'm sending you home with a treat bag. You're going to take your treats, take a leash, and then we're just going to practice calling her to us. So I'm just going to say her name. It's just Leah. Take a few steps back. Once she sits, okay, good girl. So that one there, she kind of reared up. So I'm going to do this again. Leah. And if she rears up, I'm going to pull that treat away. Good. Okay, good girl. So jumping was definitely her hardest manner to overcome. Well, that and her kind of hard mouth. Leah. So I call her over. Good. Okay, good girl. So like that, I kind of hesitated to give her the treat, made sure that she was under control, all 4 paws on the ground, and then I could give it to her. So everybody in your family that's going to have like regular contact with Leah, we're going to do that exercise probably 3 or 4 times for a day for the first week. So it's just helping her kind of build a relationship with you. She's engaging with you. It's also helping her understand that you have the same expectations with the manners as I do. So very simple, just say her name, step back, she sits, and I tell her, okay, give her a treat. Okay, good girl. Now, as you get more comfortable with her, as she's respecting your home and your expectations, then we'll start to fade that lure or that treat away. And instead, I'll just give her some attention, tell her she's a good girl. But especially over this next 2 weeks, be really consistent with the treat. Over the next month, make sure that you don't ignore her if she comes over and sits down. So her go-to was she would come over and jump all over us. That's how she's trying to get our attention. So now she knows that if she sits and she's polite, she gets my attention. Whereas if she jumps, she gets a correction. So if you noticed, when we came inside, she did a little hop up right here. She didn't ever put her paws on me. However, because she was so jumpy, I've started correcting her for hopping up at all. So even if it's off to the side right here, I'll give her just a simple correction because I don't want that leading to her jumping up on me. If she actually jumped up on me, I will step into her. Notice how she backs up when I step in. So I'm restricting that space and I'm showing her, hey, I don't appreciate that. You need to step back. And then she's sitting patiently, and then I can love on her. But if she actually jumped up on me, I'll step in, tell her off, bring that knee up. So off also accounts or is a command for if she jumped up on the couch, she's jumping up on the counter, really anything. If she's jumping, I'm going to tell her off, and I expect her to get down. Now, even if I'm down here at this level and I'm loving on her and she tries to put a paw up on me, I will tell her off for that as well, and I will slide her away, take my hands away, and wait for her to reset. So here she's being polite, I can go back to loving on her. If she tried it again, if she tried to jump up on my chest or on my leg, off, and I slide her back, remove my hands. So that's very simple, but the part of removing your hands is extremely important. One, it provides a break, so I'm no longer touching her. And my hands give all good things. They give pets, they give treats. And so if I'm like, oh no, don't jump on me, and I'm sliding her back, that's not really a correction. Where I want it quick, no, off, take my hands away, wait for a reset. She does it a second time, she gets corrected again, and then I'll stand up and remove myself. Even if that's just for 30 seconds, just to help her understand, hey, I don't appreciate that behavior. And once again, if she jumps up while I'm trying to give her a treat, I'm going to take that away, We have been accompanying this with the command gently, because early on she wanted to take my hand off. She was very eager to get the food, and she would nip my fingers and my hand like she was doing anything to get it, and turned into a little land shark. So we've spent a lot of time helping her be gentle with her mouth. So if you feel those teeth, I'm just going to tell her gently, oh, good boy. And there she can be very soft. So normally I give her a treat in the palm of my hand. So I actually put it here, tuck it under my thumb, so that way I can control when she gets it, and she has to be soft. Good girl. But we've been practicing, because kids especially want to give puppies treats between their thumb and pointer finger like this, and then they're sad when the puppy bites, oh, there you go, bites their finger. So we've spent a lot of time on gently, just helping her be soft. So kind of all of that ties into this greeting. I don't want her jumping. I want her having a soft mouth. She doesn't need to meet me halfway. Instead, I want this very polite girl that's going to sit, wait patiently, allow me to give her a treat or pet her. Now with this greeting, I think everybody's goal is to have a well-mannered dog with anyone they encounter, which is obviously our goal. But with strangers, it can be a little bit different. One, I don't want Leah thinking that she needs to greet every stranger. And I don't expect her to have the same respect for a random person on the street as she does for me. So when we are out and about and I have people ask, oh my gosh, your dog's so cute, can I pet them? 95% of the time I'm saying no. The polite way to do that is just say, no, we're in training, and I can move Leah over here, have her sit for me, engage, and let the people leave. 5% of the time you can say, okay, yes, this is Leah, and you can pet her. Usually that 5% of the time is with children or somebody I know. Other than that, adults wanting to pet my dog, I'm just like, no, just leave. Now, if you are going to let somebody pet her, come here. The way that I do this is, so if I'm on a walk, come here, and I see somebody that asks to pet her, and I say, yes, this is Leah, but she needs to be in control. So I would stop maybe, between 5 and 8 feet short, have her do this greeting for me. So she's sitting, she's under control. I'll reward her, and then I can invite that person up. So the reason I do this is because a lot of time this last 5 feet as we're approaching somebody, your dog might start to pull towards them, and a lot of times we don't correct them because it's kind of awkward to correct your dog in front of somebody. So by her already being planted here and that person approaching us, I am prepared to give simple corrections. So if someone was approaching me and she started to pull, it's just a very quick correction with this hand, and I don't need to make it drastic, or I don't need to let her pull there. If she started pulling and I corrected her, she continued to pull, or she started to jump, I would immediately turn and walk away. So I would just say, oh, she's out of control, sorry, come here. Or tell them if she can't be polite, we don't want to reward bad behavior, so we're still in training, and then you can walk away, get a little bit of distance, and then try it again. Or you can say, you know what, she's just a little distracted today, and we're going to move on. But I don't want people going, no, it's okay, I love dogs, and they're petting her for jumping up, they're petting her for pulling, because that just rewards bad behavior. And once again, if we greet every single person and she gets away with being out of control, then you have a dog that wants to pull towards everybody and is just terrible on a leash. So instead, it's much more important that you focus on your relationship with her, your expectations, and help her be a very polite, well-mannered dog. And at this point, she is so food motivated that if you pull some treats, she will usually ignore everybody else. So one, it's going to take some practice, and two, I would set yourself up for success by being prepared just to tell everybody no. All right, while we're right here, let's talk about grooming and handling. So being a doodle, Leah needs to be groomed often, and we've been practicing. We brush her pretty well every day. She's had plenty of baths, blow dryer, nails clipping, all of that. She is definitely one that doesn't love it, so it's something you're going to need to continue to work on. You don't want to only have her be brushed or handled when the groomer comes, because then she's going to continue to just throw a huge temper tantrum. So we've spent a lot of time on this. I want her to be comfortable and I want her to know that throwing a temper tantrum isn't going to get out of it. So we've been brushing her every day. Good girl. And I will clip her nails again before she leaves. I trimmed between her eyes this morning, but it is definitely not her favorite thing in the world. So as I put her through this, I'm definitely very rewarding. I don't want to just get mad and yank her around. I want to help her understand that this is just a part of life. Good girl. But see, there she's kind of pulling away. So I might stop brushing, but I'm not going to let her go. I don't want her thinking that once again, if she just pulls away, she can run. Good. Good girl. But we've also spent time handling those paws. I said I'll clip these nails again. Ears. Good girl. Muzzle. Oh, look at those teethers. You've still got so many baby teeth. So way better than what she was. But she still does not love the grooming and handling. So it's important that you continue to practice holding her like they will at the vet, at the groomer, all of that. Good girl. And like I said, when she puts up with my shenanigans, I'm going to pay her. But continue to groom, handle her, brush her every day. Good girl. Okay. So now mealtime manners. She loves her food. So anytime we feed her, I expect her to hold an automatic sit stay. Usually I shake that bowl, she'll plant herself, and I can go ahead and set it down. If I were to lean down and she broke, I'd pick that food bowl back up. And if she was really persistent, you could ask her to stay. But this is an automatic behavior. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So I don't typically take her food away. I just let her eat in peace because that would drive me crazy if somebody did that to me. But for this purpose, I'm going to show you that again. So I shake that food bowl up, help her settle down. Then I can set it down. Okay, good girl. So I've never noticed any food aggression out of her. But like I said, I don't usually make a habit of just taking her food bowl. Sometimes I'll come and put treats in it just to make it a positive thing, me being around there. She's very quick to eat, eats it all, loves it all. But yeah, I've also haven't noticed any resource guarding with her. She's never once resource guarded with an actual person. Sometimes you'll hear a little low growl, but Lexi, who's the little one of the group, seems to be the more protective one. She's more interested in just being around us and working than she is trying to protect any of her things. But so I haven't really noticed any type of resource guarding. Leah. But see that little hop? Like she's just very excited. She's kind of bouncy. And if that ever, nope. See, that one kind of came towards me. I can just give that simple correction. But you notice she's not actually jumping on me. So it's once again, it's like that yellow light. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Oh, good girl. Come here. Drop it. Good dog. Good girl. Okay. So the drop it command, we work on that by just incorporating ourselves into her play. She loves to play with us. And so when I ask for a drop it, I expect her to completely spit it out and allow me to take it. Leah. Oh, you left your toy. Good girl. That's a good girl, but you left it. So okay. When I ask for her to drop it, Leah, come here. Drop it. Good dog. Good girl. I want to make sure that I have her attention. So a lot of times I'll lead with her name. So I'll say, Leah, and then drop it, and I expect her to spit it out. Where's that squeaker? Okay, good girl. If she ever refuses or ignores me, Leah, drop it. Good girl, good girl. Then I would tell her no, and then I would take it. So I give her time to process. I don't want to immediately drop it, no, and take it. I give her a second to think about it and comply. Okay, but if I can tell she's ignoring me, then I will say no, and I'll go and take it from her. When I take it from her, I just have to curl her lips around her teeth. Leah, you left it again, sister. Good girl. But if I were going to take it, so it's just right over her muzzle, and I pop her mouth open. But she has a fantastic drop it. We practice it a lot, and she does great. I mean, you can probably see even on the video how almost dramatic she is, where she like throws it out of her mouth. Okay, good girl. Leah, drop it. Good. Notice I say good when she lets go of it, and then okay when she gets it back. Okay. Leah, good girl, come here. Drop it. Good dog, good girl, good girl. Okay. Okay, it is very important to give her things to play with, to chew on. She is in the heat of teething. So when I looked at her mouth, she had most of her baby teeth. So still a lot of chewing left to do. So it is very important that we give her appropriate things to chew on. And if you catch her chewing on something she's not supposed to, I want to simply correct her and then redirect her into something appropriate. So she's chewing on something hard, like a table leg or a chair. I'm going to tell her no, give her something like a bully stick. She's chewing on something soft like a pillow, then I want to give her something soft like a toy. So mark with the no, redirect her into something appropriate, or once again, mark and replace. So that's all of our manners. Now we're going to move into our commands, which is perfect timing because you're actually calling me right now. All right, so now we're going to jump into our obedience commands. But before I do that, I wanted to mention one last thing. The manners, those are what we are going to focus on the first 3 days. So we want to give her 3 days to just decompress, and we want to make sure that she understands our rules. So we want to make sure that she's not jumping, she's not mouthing or nipping, which reminds me I didn't cover that, so I'll cover that in just 1 second. We want to make sure that we're teaching her what she's allowed to chew on. We're making sure she's waiting at our thresholds, just all of those manners. We want to focus on those, build this relationship, and allow her to decompress. So real quick with the nipping, so especially where you have kids, if she ever wants to put her teeth on me, I am going to correct that. So she doesn't get a nibble on my watch, or like I wear a hoodie a lot and I put the drawstrings in their face, or sleeves or pant legs, anything like that. If she does, I will quickly tell her no, and I will cover her muzzle. So I'm going to take one hand behind her head, one over her muzzle, and tell her no. And then I remove my hands. Okay, so I'm not clamping down, I'm not being really mean, but it is a very quick adjustment in my body language and my tone of voice where it's just no, and then I take my hands away. I'll give her a second, and then I can go back to petting her. If she does it again, I do that a second time, no. And then I stand up and remove myself. So she has to understand she is not allowed to put her teeth on any part of me. Pants, shoelaces, arms, fingers, anything. Not allowed to happen. So now we'll jump into our obedience commands. So the first one, Leah, I'm just going to tell her place, which I think she was about to ring the bell. Good girl. So when I send her place, I tell her good or good girl when she goes on, and I give her a treat. So she gets the reward when she's in place, not when she comes off. So this command is kind of more of a settling command, so I want her to relax on the bed. Right now you can see that she's standing, she's still kind of anticipating a release, but she's also not breaking. So when she actually settles, I am going to reinforce that. I'll go up and tell her good girl and give her another reward. But with this command, I do expect her to hold this automatic stay for a couple minutes. Good girl. So there, like I want to mark that she's relaxed. Good. And so this is once again kind of a settling command. So this is my absolute favorite command. I use this all the time with my dogs. So, you know, maybe somebody comes to the door, I teach them that they should go to their place. I'm bringing in groceries and I need her out from underneath my feet, go to your place. So like I said, she's staying there for a couple minutes with various distractions. If you're consistent with this one, very easily by the time she's a year old, you could have her holding an hour-long stay. So here, she's kind of looking. Okay, good girl. When I release her, I can tell her good, give her a pet, but no treat. Leah, place. Good. Notice body language, I step near and point. And the reason for that is because my overall goal for place is that it can be anything with a defined boundary. So we've practiced putting her in boxes, we've used our rugs, towels, just anything with a really defined boundary. So when I'm doing something new, I want to lure her on, and then once all 4 paws are on or within the boundary, I can mark that with good, and then release her, do it a couple times to help her understand the expectation. So let's add a little variability here. So I'm going to leave her view. Good girl. So where she's still standing, I want to just make sure, good girl, that I'm kind of giving her an appropriate level of distraction. So leaving her sight going outside, that's a good distraction. Now I'm going to try and make it just a little bit harder. Good. Good girl. No. So there we broke. Place. So I'm going to send her right back. And now I want to wait, make sure that we're kind of stable. Good. I don't want to immediately give her the treat because she broke, and I don't want her thinking breaking gets her a treat. So I want to make sure that. So I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to knock again and then tell her good when I come back in, because that praise and that marker is what kind of got her to break. So she's good through the knock. Good. Good girl. Good. So there, can reinforce that. We add our 3Ds here. So distance, duration, distraction, just trying to build this up, make it more of a solid command. I want her to be able to hold that place with any distraction. So when my kids are here, we add a lot of chaos. And if there is a lot of chaos and she seems really antsy, I might stay close and reinforce her a lot more. Whereas if I'm just doing the dishes, it's just me and her, I'm not going to reinforce that near as often. Okay, good girl. So love the place command. She does great. And once again, it's just simply place. Good girl. So I want her to think, though, that she's going to get way more treats by staying on that place than coming off. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So here I released her, but she clearly didn't register. Okay, good girl. So the crate command's very similar. I'm just going to point crate and tell her crate. When she goes in, I give her the treat. She's expected to wait at that threshold. Okay, good girl. And then I can send her back. Leah, crate. If she hesitated, I might tap on the top. No. So here, Leah, that's a break. And she's trying to guess, so I'm going to bring her back. Crate. But this one, where she broke like that, okay, good girl. I'm not going to give her a treat. Okay, there we go. So classic Leah is wanting to guess and almost anticipate what's coming, especially where we're this close together with the bed, with the place and the crate. Come here. And so she's kind of choosing. Crate. Good girl. Okay, good girl. Crate. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Crate. But notice how when she did that, okay, when she ran out of the crate and then went and sat on her place and didn't want to come off, I'm not going to sit there and get mad or get frustrated or repeat it. It's kind of like take a deep breath and then help her succeed. If I get frustrated, I'm just going to cause her to shut down. So instead, I want to make sure, hey, let me help you figure this out. I'm not going to let her end on failure. I'm going to help her succeed in what I asked her to do. Leah, crate. Good girl. Okay, place. Good girl. If she was really hesitant, about going in the crate, and I tapped on top, and especially like introducing a new crate, you might have to take your hand. That's a good distraction, huh? Okay, good girl. Crate. So you might have to take your hand and actually stick it in the crate, help her follow it in. Good. Okay, so both of those commands, she gets the treat when she goes on or in, but not when she comes out. And obviously with this crate command, I'm not having her hold a super long stay, because if that was the case, if I needed her to be in there for a longer duration of time, I'm just going to close that door. Okay, good girl. Come here. See, she's just guessing and then put herself in a stay. So I'm not going to reward her for this, but I'm also not going to correct her, because I'm fine if she goes on her bed by herself, or if she goes in her crate by herself. Usually I let her just come off by herself. But because we're training, I'm going to pull her off, and we're going to move this bed. But this is a good example of how she's just very motivated to train, and then she starts guessing versus listening. So it's really important to just, don't get frustrated, but help her succeed. So now we're going to cover our 3 more distinct hand signals. So we have sit, which is a scoop over the nose, down, which I'll take my hand flat, and then stay, which is a stop sign. So Leah, sit, good girl, down. So here she's a little distracted, so I am going to get slightly lower, good, stay. And then stay is just that stop sign. Now she has both a sit and a down stay. If I put her in a down stay, she's not allowed to come up into a sit. However, if I put her in a sit stay and she lays down, I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, good girl. Now, I definitely think we're kind of losing some focus here. So we're going to keep things pretty simple. Sit, stay. So here, like I said, she folds into a down. I'm okay with that. That's a little bit more of a solid stay anyway. She's more stable. So she's doing, about 30 seconds, which is great for a puppy. Don't be satisfied with it. Always try to improve. Okay, good girl. Now, if she breaks once, come here, or twice, I'll just reset her. But if she breaks a third time, it's too hard for whatever's going on, whether that's something internal or external, whether she was doing it 5 minutes ago or the day before. Right now it's too hard, so we would simplify. I'd never want to push her to repeated failure. Like I said, once or twice we'll reset, have her do it again. She breaks a third time in a row, it's time to simplify. And that's the same thing if she's looking at me a little bit confused like she was with that down. I'm just going to lower myself to help her succeed versus saying down, down, down. Just help her succeed. Leah, come here. Sit. Good. Down. So you can see she's just kind of losing some focus, looking all over. So here I'd snap. Good girl. Stay. And just help her succeed. Okay, good girl. Like I said, she's definitely, she doesn't lose energy, but she's starting to lose that focus. So we're going to keep it pretty simple. And this is, she's like pacing around me because we're just getting tired, huh? Sit, good girl. So sit, down, and stay. Oh, good girl. And then the last thing we're going to cover is leave it. So we're going to pretend that I'm going to spill this thing of treats. Oh no. And then if she comes over here, Leah, leave it. Good girl. So once I say leave it, they're forever forbidden. Come here. Good girl. And she should be able to walk away from them. You can see that she clearly still knows that they're there. She's kind of evaluating. And if she went for it, I would say, no, leave it, and I might even step in. And I will continue to reward her as she continues to leave him alone. Leah, good girl. You can see she kind of takes almost a wide berth around it. So we practice this a lot on walks. If there's something gross I don't want her to get or garbage, I'll tell her leave it, and then it's, oh, good girl, and we'll walk her away. But it's a great thing to practice with food, because you never know when you drop something in the kitchen that you don't want her to get. Tell her leave it and expect her to leave it alone. The hardest part of this aspect of it, like getting ready to clean it up, is when I bend down and start picking up the treats. Because once my hands are there, then she a lot of times thinks it's okay. Because my hands give her treats, they give her pets, they give all good things. So that's when she always wants to try and come in and see what's going on. Which if she does that, I'll just kind of slide her away and tell her, no, leave it. But here you can see that she's kind of just watching, which is great. I don't want her rushing in and thinking she can eat whatever just spilled on the ground. Okay, good girl. And then we're finished. I say, okay, we're done. Okay. So that's the obedience commands. We still do have her recall to go over, which we'll do that in the leash work, and that is what we're going to do now. So I'm going to switch the camera angle. Hey, Leah, good girl. And we'll go over her heel, what to do if she pulls, long lead, and recall. So we will, good girl, do that now. All right, so now we're going to talk about heel. Leah, heel. So my expectation with heel is that she's on my left side, right here by my knee. Good girl. Keeping pace with me and putting the majority of her focus on me. I'm okay if she looks forward, but she can't get distracted. The hardest part of this for Leah is that if she had her way, she would walk backwards in front of me, staring at the treat. Good. But I want her off to my side. Also, when I stop, I expect her to stop and to sit down. Good girl. So this is for you. This is not how we exercise our dog. This is literally how we keep her focus and either get from point A to point B or get past distractions. Huh. So, nope. Good. So I want her to stay right here on my left side, and then I can tell her heel, and we can start walking. Now, when we are passing distractions, I like to make sure that I keep her on my left and the distraction on my right, so that way I can also use my body language or my body to block her. Good girl. And if we're going to pass distractions, I better be pretty distracting myself. So I give her a lot of feedback. I'm telling her that she's a good girl, giving a lot of simple corrections if she gets out in front. Good girl. And just helping her understand that the point of this is to walk and focus on me. Oh, good girl. Huh. So out of everything that we've taught her, this one is going to take the most effort to transition over because it's very relationship based. She needs to understand that you're going to take care of her. So if we're passing another dog or something that she might find a little intimidating, she needs to trust that I have her best interest in mind. So you need to practice a lot and try not to put her in a situation in the first week where you are passing a lot of distractions. Instead, keep it pretty low key and focus more on success. So that might mean just a lot of practice in the backyard where there's no distractions. And we're just focusing on her watching me, staying by my side, and I'm just dealing the treats. Keeping this very positive, focusing on this relationship. And then as she's walking really well for you, then move, out front. And we'll go down a house, back a house, down a house, back a house. Just once again, focusing on success, but maybe implementing a little bit more distractions and just gradually increase the amount of distractions. But take this one slow, focus on success, build a relationship first. Now, she is never allowed to pull, doesn't matter the length of the leash. So let's just say she got a little bit distracted, she noticed something. You saw probably a couple times there where she kind of looked at the bed or looked off and she started to wander away. A lot of times I'll just use her name or like some kissy noises and it's just, hey, Leah, good girl. And I'm gonna mark that and reward, hey, see, she wants to switch sides. She's all about just, I've got to be staring at the treats. Heel. So if I don't think she's super distracted, but she's not pulling, I'll just do something to get her attention. Hey, good girl. But if she started to actually pull, then I'm going to correct her. So even if she crosses over to the side, you can see that I'm not giving her 2 pops, but I'll say no, and I'll just give her a little leash pressure over. I'm not yanking her around. It's never to inflict harm. It's just, hey, I need you to focus. But if she actually started pulling, then I would tell her no, and I'd pop this leash twice. And I'm popping it up. I'm not dragging her back. It's no, pop, pop. If she focuses back on me, I'll say, oh, good girl, and we'll start walking again. And after a few steps, then I'll reward her. But if she went back to pulling, now I'm going to get a little bit more firm, and I'll correct her one more time. So I'd say, no, pop, pop. So I will do that twice. If she continues to pull, it's not working, and so it's much better that we just stop and help her refocus than trying to continue to heal. So my third step to pulling is just completely stopping, and we will not progress if she is going to try and pull. So when I stop, a lot of times she puts that tension in the leash, and she's going to turn and look at me and sit down. And at this point, I can evaluate. If she's like this, or if she's just a little distracted, I'll probably work on the heel. And so I'll start walking again. And if she starts to pull, I'll do a quick corrective U-turn and walk the opposite direction. And if she starts to pull, then we'll turn back around, and we'll do this back and forth, just to really work on this. And there's 2 ways to do this. One, come here, is I'll do a sharp turn into her and turn her around with my body. Or if she's getting a little bit further out in front of me, that's when I'll do the corrective U-turn, which is boop. It's just a sharp turn away and kind of giving that pop on the leash. But that's if she's not becoming reactive. That's if she's just a little distracted and we have the attention span to work on the heel. But if she's reactive, if she's barking at something, maybe she sees another dog, or she's trying to pull towards it or away from it, but she's in this reactive state, we don't want to try and heal at that point. It's much better to engage with her. So engagement is just building her confidence and helping her understand that things aren't out to get her, right? So if she was barking, bark, 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 I would immediately get some distance. So distance is always your friend. You can always get an amount of distance to help her regain her focus. So I would step through her and I'd back her up. We'd get some distance until she can somewhat focus on me. I'm going to put my body between her and the distraction, so my back's towards it, and then I will reward simple victories. It's, oh, you looked at me? Good girl. You're not barking? Good girl. You're sitting? Oh, that's a good girl, Leah. And as she comes out of this red zone and she's focusing more on me, then I'll open up, good girl, so that we can observe the distraction and we can let it go by. If she can remain calm, then we might even start to walk and get a little bit closer. But if she gets reactive, I'm going to step between her and reset this. So I will reward simple victories and I will make quick corrections. I set up a time to work on this as often as I can, where we go somewhere and just sit on a park bench and watch the world go by. And it's like, oh, you're being calm? Good girl. You're not barking? Good girl. Let's build confidence by observing without interacting. And like I said, we just call it the art of doing nothing. We're just going to go sit and watch the world go by, and I'm going to tell you you're being a good girl and reward you for not reacting. This is also a big reason why I don't want her greeting all these people on the street, because otherwise she's going to become reactive because she thinks that every person is there to see her. So with that, that's kind of our short leash. Now we're going to talk about our long lead, which is my preferred way to exercise Leah. So the long lead, she gets space. Depending on how much space you have, you can vary the lengths of your lead. This one's 15 feet, which is great when we're around campus or we're in neighborhoods. It gives her enough space that she can sniff and check things out, but I can very quickly regain control and have her go into a heel. So if there was something coming, I could call her to me, Leah, and I just reel this up. And now, good girl, we're back into a heel. And we can always fix the leash when she gets to us. When I'm on this type of walk, though, I am practicing my recall a lot because I think it's the most important command. And this is just a great time to set her up for it where you have some control. So if we're walking, she hits the end of the leash. I just say, Leah, come. Good girl. Okay. So I say her name, there's a brief pause, and then I say the come command. I always give commands different than my normal speaking cadence, and I really exaggerate the come command because I want to be encouraging, I want that high pitch, and I want to make sure that she's paying attention to me. So that's why it's, Leah, come. Good girl. Okay. So, good girl when she starts to come to me, and then okay when she gets here. I know you are so distracted right now, huh? Now, if she ignored me, then I have this leash to where I can correct her and reel her in. So here, you didn't even see it. Here. So we'll pretend that I called her too slow. She's too close, but I would tell her no, and then I would reel her in. If we have her off leash, we obviously don't have this leash to reel her in, and that's when we have to go and get her. So we're going to pretend I would say no. Good girl, okay. So I say no, give her that pressure. Once she caves in, it's good girl, and then okay when she gets here. She has a fantastic recall. She does so good off leash, but we need to build this relationship with you. So utilize the long lead, practice. And once again, if she fails, it's no, reel her in. Leah, come. Good girl. If she's off leash, once again, I don't have the ability to reel her in. So all I have is my voice and my body language. So if I call her to come and she ignores me, I'm going to immediately say no and start to walk towards her. Now, if I get 90% of the way there and she notices me and comes the last 10%, I will reward that because I do not want to correct my dog for ever coming to me. If I had to get 100% of the way there, once I got to her, I would take her collar and either put a leash on, or if I just have my hand, I'll take her collar and I'll say, Leah, come, good girl, and I'll have her follow me. Good girl. So that's how I'm going to follow through. I'm never going to chase her. So if she wants to try and play keep away, I'll use some reverse psychology and be like, Leah, hey, Leah, huh, good girl. I had a Leah like a month ago, and that's been the hardest one for me is Leah and Leah. But I can use some reverse psychology and get her to come that way. So she never gets to ignore me. She never gets to fail. Leah, come. Good girl. Okay. So anyhow, that's all of it. I'm sure you're going to have some questions, so please give me a call or let's set up a time to go over them. Leah's a super fun dog. She's highly motivated, got lots of energy. Sister. Don't let her get away with being ill-mannered. I think out of everything, I feel like the rearing up is going to be the biggest one. She's not allowed to jump, so we got to be very quick to correct that. But she's a good dog. So I appreciate you letting us train her, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.